There's a special kind of pride that you feel deep down inside, a strength that seems to thrive in Lima, Allen County.
The American way of life, to get in gear and do what's right.
That unbreakable forthright link called real American strength. Lima, Allen County, real American strength.
Keeping you up to date with what's happening in your community. Community Focus on GTV2. Thanks for joining us today on Community Focus. I'm Ann Decker, and Cindy Wood is in the studio today.
Good morning.
Good morning. She is the Executive Director of the Civic Center, and it's a busy summer, and even we've got a busy fall already lined up at the Civic Center.
Now's the time when we're starting to get all of our promoters coming in with rentals, Town Square Live, all sorts of stuff getting on the books.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, first off, we have Broadway in Lima announced their season through Jam Theatricals. So they put together an interesting season. First one opening up is September 24th, Under the Street Lamp. Under the Street Lamp is actually a Jersey Boys remake. That is still such a hot Broadway show that they have come up with a couple of different shows out in the, that are touring that are using the cast members, the original cast members of Jersey Boys. So this is one that has also hit the PBS series. So we're excited about that, September 24th. November 30th, kicking off the holiday show season, Cirque Holidays.
Oh, fun. They're wonderful.
Yes. And you know, it's so much fun because we do have a lot of opportunities here locally with Christmas shows between Bells, Brass, and Bows with the Symphony and the Ohio Northern Show. But we always have folks hungry for more. So this will be a great kickoff.
Are the tickets on sale for these yet?
We're doing Broadway subscriptions. So if you want the whole season, and I've got one more here to present, if you want the whole season, that's what we're doing. Single ticket sales will not be available until August.
Assuming that there are still tickets available by then.
Yeah. Yeah, we usually sell about a half in subscriptions. Okay. And then the other item is January the 15th, Blue Man Group is coming back. So it will have been about 26 months from when they were here last, complete sellout. And that does repeat well in market. So I know that Jam kind of took a chance, but it tends to repeat well. People want to see it. It's still a hot show.
Well, and it's not the same show every time.
No, and it's hilarious. And then they do all sorts of stuff that are crazy. So we're not clothes that you'd want to keep clean, especially sitting up front.
Right. How do they get tickets for it?
Broadway in Lima. We have call the box office for subscription seating, and then stay tuned through our e-news when single tickets go on sale.
Okay.
So we have a couple more yet.
Yeah.
I've got Town Square Live also. We're excited about Town Square Live through the Civic Center Foundation. Remember, this is all buy local, stay local. This is a little bit different than our out-of-town promoters. October the 4th is Haunted Illusions. It's a family magic show to kick off the Halloween season, and we're working with Downtown Lima on a couple of surprises for that. And then a new show that we're very excited about is on Saturday, October the 25th, Christian rock, Newsboys, Family Force 5, and Seventh Tribe Down. So we've been getting a ton of phone calls in for this, so this should be a big show that sells out.
Fabulous.
Yes.
The tickets are on sale for the Town Square Live series as well?
Those will be on shortly. We're finalizing all the contract details and then doing it. So again, you got to stay in tune with e-news. E-news, e-news, e-news.
Well, how do they get e-news?
Go online to limaciviccenter.com, scroll down to the bottom of our homepage, and sign up.
Okay, and then what? They just gets emailed to them?
Yes, absolutely. We do a monthly newsletter, and then when we do tickets on sale, you get an e-blast. So, you know, I go back to your ZZ Top.
I know, that's how we got front row for ZZ Top.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay.
You were going to say?
Well, we got a couple of other things coming up, too.
Like?
One of the most important things that we do is the community, and it's kind of an understated thing, but we are a Veterans Memorial. So, I'm proud that we can do this. I don't like doing this, but coming up on Saturday, July the 12th, we will be holding a memorial ceremony for Staff Sergeant Sonny Zimmerman. We have a wall where all soldiers killed from Allen County are permanently recognized and inscribed, so we have a new name with Staff Sergeant Sonny Zimmerman to add. So we're very proud to do it. not my favorite,
Right.
but it's so important. So we hope the the community will come out and support his family. For
So
that.
they are welcome to come out and attend?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Please do.
And I know we'll be hearing more about that in the future, so
Yes.
stay tuned.
Yes.
Okay, anything else we need to know?
I don't think so.
All right.
Not right now. Stay tuned.
Your web address is?
LimaCivicCenter.com.
Okay, and then if people want to call the box office, how do they do that?
419-224-1552 from 12 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Okay, thanks for coming in
Thank
today.
you.
You're welcome. Cindy Wood from the Civic Center. I'm Ann Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.
We're not doing well, Allen County.
Almost 70% of our adults are overweight.
And close to 40% of our children.
We eat the wrong foods.
We smoke too much.
We don't exercise nearly enough.
We can do better.
We can do better.
We can do better.
Activate Allen County is working with schools, churches, businesses, and local government to influence policies that will help us all do better.
We can do better for me.
For me. For all of us.
Join the effort to help Allen County do better by going to activateallencounty.com. Paid for with funding through a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Let's all do our part to keep the Ottawa River clean and healthy. Wash your car on the grass to protect storm drains from soap and dirt. Your actions matter.
He said he would let me play ball with the older boys if I did what he said. He said it would be our secret and he'd beat me up if I told. And now he wants another favor tomorrow. I just want to play ball.
Say no. Run away. Scream. It's okay to tell an adult you trust if someone is hurting you or making you uncomfortable. Feel safe. Feel strong. Feel free.
We're back on Community Focus. I'm Ann Decker, and Chris Jackson is here today from the Lima Fire Department. And if you have a business that needs an inspection from the fire department, you need to be aware that fees are being charged starting on June 1st. And Chris is here today to give us some of the details.
Yeah, we've in the past have never charged for fees, but now we're trying to become consistent with the state of Ohio and other departments. So again, starting June 1st, we will start assessing a fee for inspections to businesses in the Lima community.
What kind of inspections?
Mostly license inspections, especially with our daycares and foster cares and home daycares. They have to have a license, so each year they have to have their license renewed. So as part of that, they'll have to now pay a fee to get that assessment.
Okay, now I'm looking at the fees, and they're really not outrageous. They're pretty reasonable.
Yes, for a home daycare it's like $45, I believe, and for a type A daycare, which is more than 5, theirs will be about $60.
Okay, and instead of calling you as they have in the past, how does the process now work?
Now the procedures in the past, again, they would just call us to set their inspection up. Now they would actually have to go downtown to the city building, to the building department, pay that fee. Once that fee is paid, and they will in turn be able to contact us. Then we will get an email or something from the building department letting us know that that fee was paid. Then we can set up their inspection.
Okay, but it shouldn't take any longer than it did before, right?
No, the process will pretty much be the same. Now with new businesses, there's also a fee if there's a new business coming in town, or there's some type of major reconstruction to a business, they pay a fee. The big difference from them will be if we have to go out and do a re-inspection, go out and do our initial inspection, there's a fee, and then the increments start to increase if we have to continue to go out to do a re-inspection.
What happens to the money? Does it go into the department's general fund?
Yes, that goes into the general fund of the city.
Do you think it's going to be significant enough you can do anything with it?
Well, we're hoping it'll help us with just things like, maybe updating some of our technology. One of the things we like to do in the Fire Prevention Bureau eventually is get iPads so we can do a mobile firehouse application where we can go out and we can do our actual paperwork right there on scene. So we're looking at things like that.
Okay. Is there anything else people need to know about the inspection fee schedule?
No, just again, we just didn't want people to be surprised. Again, the procedure is the big thing that they need to make sure that when it's time for the inspection that they contact the building department first, and then once their fee is paid, then they would contact us.
Okay, and Chris, if people have any questions, can they just contact you?
Yes, they can just contact me right here at the Fire Prevention Bureau at 419-221-5150.
Okay, we appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you.
Inspector Chris Jackson from the Lima Fire Department. When we come back, we're going to talk about tourism in Allen County right after this on GTV2.
Do you know what to do when you hear the community warning sirens? The sirens are activated anytime the public is in life-threatening danger. When you hear the sirens, go inside and turn on your radio or television for more information. If you're outside and unable to take shelter, get in your car and listen to your radio for more information. Follow the instructions carefully. Remember, the sirens mean to take shelter and listen to your radio or television for more information. Take the necessary steps to keep you and your family safe.
What is your name, please?
I am Doug Behringer.
I am Doug Behringer.
I'm Doug Behringer.
Remember to tell the truth. Only one person was truthful about their name. For victims of identity theft, it is not a game. They find their credit and reputations ruined. Never give out your personal information to people or businesses you are not familiar with. By the way, I'm the real Doug Behringer. I'm an attorney and the victim of identity theft. Protect yourself. It can happen to anyone.
Reduce, recycle, reuse. Allied Waste Services in the City of Lima encourage you to live green by recycling all that you can. Recycling promotes green living by reducing the amount of waste materials buried in landfills. This saves money, natural resources, and energy. Keep our environment healthy and start recycling today. Allied Waste Services is committed to a clean environment. Contact us today for your recycling needs. Visit our website, republicservicesohio.com, to learn more about recycling today.
We're back on Community Focus. I'm Ann Decker. The Blue Tourism Caboose is open for the season, and here in the studio today is Allen County's Director of Tourism, Cara Stumbaugh. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
What is the Blue Caboose and what can we find there?
The Blue Caboose is our community's tourist information center. It's ran by the CVB and managed by the CVB, and it's actually staffed by a group of community volunteers who dedicated their time to welcoming visitors to the area and also encouraging local Limaites or Allen County citizens to stop out and learn about what Allen County has to offer people and also what's going on throughout the summer months as far as events are concerned in Allen County as well. And we also actually stock the caboose full of brochures for the surrounding area as well, the entire state of Ohio. So anyone looking to do little short jaunts and go see what the rest of the state has to offer, we have that information there as well.
And where is the Blue Caboose parked?
The Blue Caboose is actually located off of Rashman Avenue. The easiest way to tell people to get there is to head to the Howard Johnson Hotel, enter the parking lot, drive around the back, and you can't miss it. It's right there.
You can see it from the interstate.
You can see it from the interstate, absolutely. And there's signage all the way from State Route 309 to allow you to find your way back there. But the easiest way is to say head to the Howard Johnson Hotel, and you'll see it in the parking lot.
Well, and it's just a cool thing to go into and look around, too. It's a piece of our history.
It really is. We have a lot of people, of course, stop for information, but we have just as many people stop because they've never been inside of a caboose before. A lot of train enthusiasts and children, of course, like to have the opportunity to get in there and see what it looks like and kind of walk around the grounds and see up close what a caboose looks like.
Now, when you say Allen County tourism, a lot of people would chuckle and think it's an oxymoron, but there's really a lot to see and do in our community.
There are so many things to see and do in our community. A lot of people, when they hear tourism, think palm trees and oceans, but there are so many more aspects to that. So many large events. Of course, we have so many great event facilities here, and that really encourages a lot of event organizers to bring their events here. Just at the fairgrounds, for example, at the end of this month, we have the professional bull riders coming in. At the end of next month, the Ohio National Motorcycle Races. We just came off the weekend with the four-wheel jamboree, which welcomed 38,000 people to our community. So there are so many aspects to tourism that I think people we encourage them to learn about that really have nothing to do with palm trees, but are a great piece to tourism, especially if you're a history buff or you like parks. We have two great park systems, the Johnny Appleseed and the Lima City Parks. They put on all kinds of programs, and they're for adults, children, and those are things that are all part of tourism as well.
You know, when you start kicking around the numbers like 38,000 people in one weekend, if you start doing the math, you realize what kind of an economic impact tourism really does have on our community.
Absolutely. There are so many aspects to it, not just staying at our hotels, which is huge, but they're spending dollars in our community. They're dining at our restaurants, they're shopping in our stores, they're using our gas, they're going to our attractions, our county museum, art space downtown. There are so many aspects to it that allow people to spend their dollars in our community. It is a huge impact on the community.
Do you have a dollar amount as to how much it's worth each year?
Overall, tourism dollars, it's something I wouldn't have the answer to, but just as an example, the four-wheel jamboree this weekend, this 3-day event generates an estimated $6.8 million for the community.
You are kidding, in one weekend?
In one weekend.
That's incredible.
Absolutely.
A lot of us have groups we're part of, or we have big families, we're planning reunions. If anybody is planning an event here in Allen County, what can the CVB do for them?
The CVB provides so many services for people looking to bring their event to the community. We can put together information packets. We can provide site inspections for them if they aren't quite sure exactly where they want to have their event. We are happy to bring them around, let them see what we have to offer. Maps. We put them in touch with the local media. There are so many things we can provide. We absolutely encourage anyone from a family reunion up to a large-scale event to contact us and see how we can help them get their event, spread the word about their event, and get the planning stage started.
And how do they get in touch with you?
They can call us at the office, 419-222-6075, or they can visit us online, www.lima-allencvb.com.
Well, and for those of us who live here, if you want to do anything, there is a complete schedule of events for, the whole summer going on your website.
Absolutely. We manage the community calendar of events, which is a huge feat in itself, and we have it online, and we also have an e-newsletter that we send out monthly with the entire month's events as well. So if anyone is interested in receiving that, or just stop by our website and find out what's going on, we keep that up to date as a daily, if not hourly, updated a database.
Well, and we appreciate your efforts too. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Cara Stumbaugh from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. I'm Ann Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.
Storm drains lead to the river. Our river is closer than you think. What are you doing to protect it?
My name is Rick Stolle. I'm the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Forestry for the city. We are a division of the Public Works Department and are located in the Central Services Building at 900 South College Street. We can be reached at 419-221-5195, and our office is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our charge is to direct the continued development, security, and overall maintenance of the city parks, recreational sites, the Riverwalk Bikeway, as well as recreational programming and other activities, including the operation of Schoonover Pool. We also oversee the management of the urban forest, which includes trees located on city-owned property throughout Lima. We have nearly 400 acres of land that we maintain annually. Included in the green space use are rental opportunities for shelter houses and other park facilities. We also supervise a number of adult and youth activities ranging from summer playground program, softball, baseball, basketball, and volleyball, to name a few. Our rangers see to the safety and security of not only the parks, recreational sites, and rec programming, they also assist with the surveillance of the reservoir system for the city.
Tuesday means welcoming representatives of the city of Lima, and certainly pleased to welcome Lima Mayor Dave Berger, our in-studio guest. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Mike. Great to be here.
All right, hoping for a beautiful day, and of course we hate to look too far ahead, but the Memorial Day holiday weekend isn't too far ahead. What happens with the city on that holiday? Are you guys in a position? I know some private firms, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody's excused, for travel reasons, all of that. How does the city play that?
Well, we do have the holiday off.
Monday. Okay.
Monday. But, in the run-up to the weekend, essentially, there's lots to do. I mean, we've got the parks to get ready. We've got all kinds of, you move the trailer downtown for the Memorial Day parade. there's lots of work right up to the end of the normal workday.
So it's none of this middle of the afternoon, everybody can go home deal, is what you're saying.
No, we have not done that.
Right.
I'm sure it might be appreciated by the employees, but I think that the public expects us to put in the normal day's work.
Interesting you mentioned that. You think about Memorial Day, that is a big weekend. It's the unofficial start of summer, and if you would talk to like Rick Stolley today, he probably is hard at work making final preparations, because I suspect a number of park settings are actually reserved for Monday. Huh?
Well, we've got the reservations. We also have, folks really do use the parks in an informal way. The parks are filled throughout the weekend. Obviously, part of our challenge has been to do the cleanup from the winter. The last vestiges of winter were just disappearing not too long ago, and then we've had really wet weather. So being able to get in and groom the parks and make sure they look nice, that's a challenge.
Yep.
And of course he's also very focused on Schoonover Pool, because that also requires a major set of tasks in order to get it ready each year. So there's just a lot that's happening in the parks in order to get ready for the public, who expects them to be in very good shape and available to them.
No question about it. And of course, referencing the various leagues, baseball, softball, you name it. There are a host of things happening with the city. 224-1150. Our phone lines are open. Questions or comments? You mentioned the big the flatbed for the Memorial Day parade, and boy, again, and we say it a lot, this Lima is just a perfect town for a parade, with the way Main Street rolls east and west. You just can't, or north and south rather, you just can't beat it, can you?
Well, and Lima loves a parade. Folks both participate in the parade, but also those who are there to observe. It's a great way to, as a family activity, to show up and enjoy the day.
And in recent days, I've been talking with Tom Martin with the Memorial Day parade. He is the organizer of the event. I think he said he's around 70 entries, and this was at some point a week ago. That, of course, is 10 o'clock on Monday. And it looks like just a tremendous weather day also. We are so fortunate with the holiday coming up.
Well, in addition to the parade itself, they also have a memorial service at Memorial Hall, which follows roughly 45 minutes or so after the parade is concluded. And that is a explicit way of acknowledging the sacrifice of those who served our country in our military, and I encourage the public to also be in attendance for that.
Looking forward to that as a part of the holiday weekend. And we're mentioning earlier about parks, and speaking of that, there is, of course, a developing sort of park situation that I don't know that's going to be ready to be just completely unveiled yet. But as we move along Bell Fountain Avenue, there to the south of Lima Stadium, there's a grassy area. There are some plans down the road there, isn't there?
There is. Actually, the city schools, of course, are moving ahead with their replacement of the home side of the stadium, and that's happening independent of the plans and the work that we're expecting for what is the real estate that is on the Bell Fountain side of the stadium. For a number of years, we have had the active involvement of the R. Hale Family Foundation, who, at my request, probably 8 or 9 years ago, began to purchase parcels there. And we had developed some early plans for how that hill might be cut down so that the stadium could be much more visible from Bell Fountain as you're traveling by.
Yep.
We're fortunate that the foundation was able to actually acquire all of that real estate. They also proceeded to demolish the houses that were there. And then in the recent preparation of the state capital budget, State Representative Matt Huffman was able to get funding in the budget, which is yet in process. The Senate still has to act, and the governor has to sign it. But essentially, funding would then become available for the actual work to carve that hill down and put in place a really wonderful new park for that side of town.
I'll tell you what, Mayor, and stating the obvious, but with time, that whole stadium setting is going to turn out to be quite the showplace and a very, very functional yet great looking setting.
I think with as you're coming into town with the various features that are now there, for example, the new street lighting that we have, the decorative street lighting, the black mast arms for our traffic lights, and then the presence of Memorial Hospital, the presence of the stadium, the Lima Senior High, come to the downtown. I mean, that will be a very attractive entrance to our community, and I think one that people can be proud of.
No question about it. Exciting developments there as we move forward this morning and beyond. It's 8:16. Up on 8:20 in News Talk 1150 WIMA. Tuesday morning with Mayor Berger, our in-studio guest. City of Lima is our subject matter. Quite a few interesting things happening. Mayor, we heard a little bit about it on the news this morning, and you can shed a little bit more light. That is the situation with building inspections, and Mr. Bill Brown, who is a veteran of that world. Now, what's going on with Bill? He had retired, but the city surely wants to keep him for a variety of reasons. Huh?
Well, we have a fully certified building department, and we're the only ones in this region. We serve the entire county.
Mm-hmm.
So folks have the option, if they're developing new buildings, to go to Columbus, which is what most people in the surrounding counties do,
right,
or to stay local. And the vast majority of folks do appreciate the convenience of being able to deal with us at the city. In order to maintain that, however, you have to have an official who has the appropriate certifications as the building commissioner. It's all regulated by the state. And there are very few of those individuals.
Right.
We began a few years ago to actually just, I think, about 18 months ago, another employee moved into the assistant building commissioner's job in order to begin to train to eventually get the full certification. But it will take a half a dozen years or so for that to happen. Bill, however, Bill Brown, is now confronted with changes in the PERS system, which it's frankly to his advantage to retire very shortly in order to not harm particular features of his retirement package.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's given us that notice, but he's also indicated that he would like to continue to work. So what we've been able to do is negotiate with him, and City Council last night did give us authority to hire him as a contractor who will continue performing the services that he now performs under a contract rather than as a city employee. And that now gives us the next several years to be able to make certain that the assistant, in fact, obtains all the necessary certifications so that when she's able to do that, then she can step into that role on a fully certified basis.
And as a part of his duties, also as a building inspector, he also can issue permits for new buildings.
Well, he's got a team of folks, engineers, plans examiners, and others, and building inspectors. So folks do come in, they file for permits, they file their commercial building, industrial building plans with us. Those are reviewed, and then we do issue permits for them to be able to proceed with their construction.
That's strictly for the city, or someone with his accreditation that and the like can issue permits for countywide.
The service is provided on a countywide basis.
That's what I thought. Okay,
yes,
very good. So a key individual.
It is, and it's something again that if there hadn't been many years of interest in having a local option as opposed to driving everything to Columbus, I think then the transition and we would have been clear. We could have just done away with the service. But I think local developers, local builders have always preferred to be able to deal locally, and it has been a service that we provide in a thorough and professional way. All right. Sounds like a winner with Mr. Brown hopefully going to have more time and then a clear understudy gaining the necessary skill. And that's a lot of times that's what it is about in some of these key positions, finding somebody to fill those shoes over time. Well, we have a number of positions like that with the city. Our plant operators, for example, for the water treatment and for the wastewater treatment facilities and for operators are all licensed by the state. So you have to, in fact, have people in training to be able to take the various tests, get the various licenses in order to be able to operate legally under the laws of the state. 224-1150, still about 5 minutes remaining. If you have any questions or comments for Mayor Dave Berger, our in-studio guest, again, 224-1150. Literally dozens and dozens of fishermen, Mayor, out at Bressler Reservoir these days. I trust you've noticed that. I know some of those folks out there. It's really something. What's your take on that? Well, I have heard from, we have one particular administrator for the city who loves to fish at our reservoirs, and that's Saul Allen. And he has indicated that fishing this year has just been terrific. So recording really record numbers of folks as well as really sizable catches. Oh, absolutely. Hundreds and hundreds of fish have been taken out of that, have been taken out of Bressler Reservoir. But there is an ongoing arrangement with the state and others to somewhat keep it stocked, right? We have an agreement with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources